Hello learners, welcome to CS Teaching Exam Prep. So, whenever we are ready to teach, first we have to learn, we have to acquire knowledge, and then we'll be ready to teach. Now, let us go through the current affairs on education, which are very important for your EMRS examination, which adds weightage to your score. Yes, so we shall start our preparation along with the concepts of knowledge on ICT, current affairs on education, and also the main syllabus, the subject syllabus content for the PGT course, that is computer science PGT. Now let us go through the first concept or first topic on current affairs on education, under which scheme 14,500 schools across India's states and union territories will be redeveloped to reflect the key features of NEP 2020. We all know the all the schools must follow NEP 2020 guidelines to develop their schools. Yes, development compulsory happens when we follow NEP 2020. So, under which scheme? There is a scheme developed under central government. So central government has developed 14,500 schools across India states and also union territories will be redeveloped. So under this scheme 14,500 schools were registered which are following NEP 2020 guidelines compulsorily. 100% they are following NEP 2020. So these schools should be registered under this scheme so that they will get all the funds or whatever the central government provides, all the facilities to redevelop their schools which are following NEP 2020 guidelines. So what is that scheme? That scheme is PM Schools for Rising India. So recently we also have seen PM Shri Narendra Modi ji also issued some money for this, like for some funds for this, like almost 6,700 schools were ready to receive all these funds among these 14,500 which are following NEP 2020 guidelines to redevelop their school structure or infrastructure. Okay, next, under which scheme 14,500 schools across India states and union territories will be redeveloped? That is PM Shri Schools, where Shri stands for Schools for Rising India. Next, improving the quality of, like we have to remember this, okay, PM Shri Schools, this scheme, what all this scheme is providing. So under this scheme, what all the schools are getting enough to develop their school. Yes, next, improving the quality of school education by focusing on the 2 T's, that is teacher and technology. As the digitalization happening, as everything is going by using the smart machines, and also the digital technology also has its important role in education also. So for that, first we have to know how the school education is going by using the theme called teacher and technology. The teacher has to use the technology and the student also has to use the technology to enhance the teaching content, and also to promote the students what all the technical aspects we'll be seeing while learning. While teaching, what all we can do by using the technology. While learning, what all they can do by using the technology. So what is this teacher and technology? It is the emphasis of which scheme? That is Samagra Shiksha. It is also another scheme where there is a focus on school education by following teacher and technology concept theme. we can say the teacher and technology theme. Next, the center has approved the continuation of the Samagra Shiksha scheme. Samagra Shiksha scheme, it is being followed by more number of schools to improve their quality of school education. So now the center has given an approval to continue the Samagra Shiksha scheme, where under this scheme the schools will also get some technical infrastructure, like whatever the infrastructure the teachers may need to teach the students. Yes, under this. So under this Samagra Shiksha scheme, it is being continued and it is getting the continuation. It has got the approval for the continuation till March 31st, 2026. Next, we shall go through the knowledge of ICT. That is it also carries the weightage of 5 marks in your EMRS examination, which is important. Yes, so as the syllabus contains all the shortcuts of MS Office or shortcuts of the keyboard, what are the basics we have to know whenever we start using the computer? So let us go from the starting concepts. Like we may know, first we need to know the keyboard function keys. What are all the keyboard keys we'll be using, and later on we can go through the MS Office document, PowerPoints, and also remaining concepts under covering your complete syllabus. With each concept of the PGT computer science syllabus, knowledge of ICT also will be covered, so that parallelly you will be gaining some information along with the core syllabus and also along with the knowledge of ICT. Okay, next, uses of keyboard function keys, that is F1. So we all know we have the function keys which are available on the keyboard, F1 to F12. F1, whenever we press F1, it will open the help screen. Yes, like whenever we are using any document like Word document or any other documents or any other browser, so if you directly press on F1, so it will give the help screen. Like what is that help screen contains? It contains all the information regarding the whatever the document you are opened. It will help you with all the features by presenting all the features of that particular document. F2, to rename a selected file or folder directly. In order to change the name of a particular file or a folder, we can directly use F2 function key. Enable searching feature in the active or current application. To search something, if any application is opened in a system, in a computer, so we can directly, if you want to search something, we can directly use F3 function key. Next, F4, Alt F4. We can use Alt F4. We can use Alt F4 to close the active window. Like we already know, in order to shut down the system, we have to use Alt F4. So in order to close the active window, whatever, if you are opened with some 2-3 windows at a time, and so in order to close a particular window, you can directly use Alt F4. Okay, F5, refresh or reload a page or document window. To refresh any document or to refresh or reload any web page, we can use F5. F6, point to the address bar in a browser. So whenever you are using some other application and your web browser is being opened, if you want to directly go through the address bar and type something, we can directly use F6 function key. F7, spell check and grammar check in Office apps. F7, directly whenever we are using MS Office apps like Word document or any other applications, so in order to check the spelling, whatever the spelling we write, whether it is correct or not, if in order to check that grammarly, according to the grammar, we can directly use F7. F8, to access the boot menu. Like whenever we are restarting the computer, starting a computer or system, so if you want to go to the boot options, if you want to check out whether the system is working properly or not, any issues happening, so we directly after restarting the computer, we can use F8 to go to the boot options. Yes, F9, to send emails in the active window. So if your mail window is opened, directly you can type your mail and you can directly use F9 to, in order, without using the mouse in the send button, not to click the send, but without clicking the send button, we can directly use F9 to send that particular email in that particular active email application. F10 to activate the menu bar. So whenever we are opened with any documents or any applications, so in order to know what are all the menus it have that a particular application is providing, what all menus, in order to know that, F10. Yes, so all round, like if you want to know menu, F10. If you want to send mail, 9. Yes, so email, if you write it in reverse, you can see 9. So email, like that you can remember the shortcuts. 8 boot, 8 boot, it is starting with this. And F7 spell check, 7 spell. Yes, so like with, if you forgot to remember that, so for the examination, if we keep on working with the system, we can directly know this. But in the examination point of view, if you want to remember as a shortcuts, just a simple or easy shortcuts I am just telling you. Next, F10 we already seen that to activate the menu bar. F11 enter and exit full screen mode in browsers. If your browser is in full screen mode, F11 to get exit from that particular screen mode. F12 opens the save dialog box. Whatever the application you are opened with, in order to save any content in that application, we can directly use F12. Yes. Next, we shall go to the core concept of our syllabus, that is under PGT Computer Science. According to the syllabus, if we come with the order of the syllabus, so these will be the in this you will be provided with most of the MCQs, most of the possible MCQs which you can see in your examination, like compulsory or possible MCQs you can see in your examination. The first concept we'll be discussing is computer system organization. So first we'll discuss the MCQs on introduction to computer system. So whenever we know the basics of the computer, like in the syllabus also it is getting started with the many like basic questions of the computer system. So these questions are also being asked in your examination, any level of examination. Yes, so introduction to the computer system. The first question is, von Neumann architecture of a computer consists of central processing unit, memory unit, input and output devices. Von Neumann architecture, this is the first architecture of a computer with all the input given to the computer. It is providing processing unit for a computer, and also after processing the given input we have to store in our computer. For that we need a memory unit. So for this question the answer will be like, von Neumann architecture is providing input, processing, memory unit and also the output unit. So all of the above is the answer. Second question, first binary programmable computer based on von Neumann architecture is binary programmable. So nowadays we are moving through binary programmable, from the binary programmable assembly level programming language, low level programming languages to the high level programming languages. So the first binary programmable computer, the computer itself is a binary programmed computer. So nowadays we have seen so many high level languages. Whatever the application we need, we are writing them in by using our high level languages. So while using those high level languages, the compiler or the interpreter, whatever is given with that particular programming language, high level language, they are being converted into binary program. So what is that according to the, based on the von Neumann architecture, what is the first binary programmable computer? That is A and B. Those are ENIAC and EDVAC, Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer, Electronic Discrete Variable Automatic Computer. You have to know the full forms of these devices. Okay, so these are the first binary programmable computer based computers. These are the devices we know. So these are the devices based on the von Neumann architecture. What is von Neumann architecture? We have seen it consists of input output devices. Before getting the output, it has to be get processed and saved in the computer device. Yes. Next, a complete CPU integrated on a single chip is called a complete CPU integrated. The CPU, complete CPU. We have seen the central processing unit is compulsory to process whatever the input we are getting to the computer system. So when this complete CPU processing unit is getting integrated on a single chip, it is called a microprocessor. Yes. Which of the following device is considered to form basis of modern computers? So we have seen in the previous question, like binary programmable computers. Yes, the first binary programmable computers. Now, so which made the basis to develop the modern computers which we are seeing now? Which device has made the basis for this modern computers? That is analytical engine. That is, it is also a device which, after working with this device, the people had known that the research group of people came to know that okay, this can make the basis for to develop or to construct a set of new type of computers. They had become our modern computers nowadays. Next, which is capable to solve any problem by executing the program stored on punched cards? Previously, what is the device used for executing the program stored on punched cards? Punched cards, it is not like any programming language, but what is that device? To if you write any program stored on these punched cards, like it is some external device. If you want to execute the program which is written on this device, so which is capable? That is Turing machine. I think we all know about the Turing machine. Yes. Next, exponential growth in number of transistors that could be assembled in a single microchip is the prediction given by. So as we have seen, the CPU, the complete CPU is constructed as a single chip. It is called a microprocessor. Yes. So whenever we have seen the modern computers, every computer is like going on generations, the computer is becoming, size is becoming very small. So how they are becoming how the size is becoming very small? Based on the exponential growth in using the number of transistors. We have to assemble the transistors to develop a single microchip. So nowadays we can see more number of transistors are being assembled to generate a single microchip. So that is the prediction, like in future there may be some group of exponential growth in using the transistors to assemble a single chip is the prediction given by, yes, Moore's law. Next, the first personal computer was introduced by IBM. Obviously, a computer along with additional hardware and software together is called a computer system. Whenever we see the computer terminology, obviously it is not a single computer. It is a computer system which is a combination of software and hardware together. Next, CPU stores the data as well as instructions in its local memory. CPU has a local memory. See the term CPU, local memory. What is the local memory which the CPU has? That is a set of registers. Registers, whatever the content we are giving to the CPU. Okay, CPU, you process it. So that content, the data will be stored in the local memory of CPU. What is the local memory of CPU? That is registers. Next question. Which fetches the program and data from the memory and performs arithmetic and logical operations as per the given instructions and stores the result back to memory? So, which device fetches the program and data from memory? Like if a question is given too long, or if any words are not familiar to you, so you have to search for the familiar words which you know, like fetches the program and data from memory. We know memory, and from memory it is taking the data and what it is doing, arithmetic and logical operations. So likewise you have to break the particular question in order to get the self understanding of that particular question and stores the result back. So arithmetic and logical operations are being performed by CPU, obviously. Yes, so CPU will fetch the data from memory. It will check whatever the user gives some data to the memory unit. CPU will take that particular data and it performs all the arithmetic and logical operations as it contains arithmetic and logical unit. Next, hardware. So these are the previously we have discussed the basics of a computer system. So how initially the computer used to be, what are all the, before having our modern computers or modern computer systems, what are all the researchers or the people has used, and after that we have seen what are all the basic devices or operations performed by the CPU. Now coming to the hardware part of a computer. So we know what is hardware, like the physical components whichever we see on a with a computer system, like we can see and we can feel them, we can touch them. Yes, so those are all called as the hardware components of a physical components or hardware of a computer. So example, RAM, keyboard, we can see printer, monitor, CPU, etc. These are all the hardware components of a system. Also we call them as the physical components of a computer system. Coming to the questions. Which of the following is not hardware of a computer system? Is not a hardware. Printer, yes, it is a hardware. Web browser, no, it is one of the software application. Mouse, yes, it is a hardware device. Keyboard, yes, it is a hardware device. So our option is web browser. It is not a hardware of a computer system. Which device convert the input data into a digital form that is acceptable by the computer system? What does the computer system understand? Which language? It will only understand the machine level language. Whatever the applications we are developing in a basic computer system, whatever the softwares, whatever the operating systems, everything is being developed by using the high level programming languages. So with these high level programming languages, they will be having some compilers or the interpreters which converts this high level language to machine understandable language, that is low level language or the binary language. Now whatever the input data is given, whatever the input data given into the system, input data, the digital form, how it is being getting converted to the digital form. What is digital form? The language or the form which the computer will understand. So that is being converted by this, by the device called keyboard, mouse, touchscreen. Like these are all the input devices. Mostly input devices will be instructing the computer, okay, I'm giving input, this is the input I'm giving to your system, you perform this and you do this, you make the computer system understandable by converting it into digital form and then give me the output. Yes. Next, data entered through input device is temporarily stored in dash of the computer system. Data is being entered through the obviously input device. Well, we'll be entering the data by using the keyboard. Yes, we'll be storing the data either in the form of images or the video content or in the Word documents or any other applications. Everything will, for this all we'll be using the mouse and the keyboard. So data entered through input device is temporarily stored in dash of the computer system. That is temporarily. You have to see the term called temporarily. Temporarily, how can we store this? In the main memory. Main memory is also called as RAM. We have memory, secondary memory and main memory. So main memory is also called as RAM is main memory is RAM. Yes, it will be storing whatever the data is giving as an input to the computer. Yes, so everything it will be taking from the secondary memory. The main memory RAM will take that particular data until before getting the output. RAM will take that data from the secondary memory and it will give that particular data to CPU. CPU processes and give the output. Why? Because the secondary memory, the speed access time for the secondary memory is very less than the main memory. So what is like speed of the CPU? Speed of the CPU, like it will be performing the processing or performing any operations within like few nanoseconds or few milliseconds. It will be taking time of few nano and few milliseconds. But secondary memory, it will work for like seconds. It is not like milliseconds, or it also works on milliseconds of speed, but there will be no cope up with the secondary memory and CPU. Further, there is a main memory device which stores the data temporarily until the data get processed and stores back the data into the secondary memory until the after the processing has done. That is the device, that is the main memory, which is used to store the data temporarily while the processing is being happened. Next, which device converts digital information into human understandable form? Obviously, which device? That is all the device digital information. Like the computer is taking some human given information, that will be obviously human understandable form, and that data will be converted to digital form by using the input devices, which we have seen in the previous question. Next, after the data is getting processed, the data will be obviously in human understandable form. After the data is getting processed, it has to be converted to human understandable form. So further, the digital form data had to be converted to human understandable form. That is done by the output devices. Those are like monitor, printer and projector, etc. Output devices, we can say. Which of the following is an analog display device? So coming to the display devices concept, we can discuss about analog display device. So that is, we can say cathode ray tubes. Initially the computer devices were developed by using this analog display devices. So what is that? CRTs, cathode ray tubes, are the initially developed analog display devices. Okay. Next, so we shall discuss about the display devices and another software components, software applications, what are the types of software, everything in our coming next lecture, along with some concepts of knowledge of ICT and current affairs on education. Okay, so please do check out the videos. Please do follow this channel, subscribe to the channel, like, share and subscribe the channel for more and more content on the MCQs along with the concept covered according to the complete syllabus, line by line complete syllabus. What are the possible MCQs can be given in the asked in the examination based on the line by line concepts covered on the complete syllabus. Complete syllabus will be covered. Okay, so in the next video lecture, we'll be discussing more about the display devices and other components of a computer system. Please do subscribe for more videos in this channel. Thank you, learners.